and it is 1 o'clock. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Introduction to Social Selling. I am so glad you were able to join me today. It's going to be a quick webinar. We're not going to go through a lot of intense details here because it truly is an introduction to social selling. A few comments before we get started. Now, my internet connection is somewhat unstable today. So if I'm booted offline and I don't return within 30 seconds, or if you get the screen that says this webinar has ended, you can be assured that I will record this webinar at a different time, and I'll post it to the growbecause.com website for you to watch later. Now, as long as you've registered to receive updates about webinars and events at growbecause.com, you will receive the email with a link to view this webinar. That also applies to the recording, meaning that you stay with me today and decide you want to view it later, then you can, or you have to leave and you want to view it later, you can. So let's get this started. Now, my name is Charlene Burke, and I am an introvert who survived working in an extrovert world. My story begins, actually my work and business story begins with just that. I'm an introvert, and for many, many, many years, I've been working in the world of extroverts. My education, which started with degrees in business and marketing, but I found myself struggling in jobs that required me to be surrounded by other people, constantly battling outside noise, dealing with intrusions, interruptions, when personally I really wanted to stay focused and finish the task that was in front of me. So after about 15 years of working in this world of extroverts and what I personally called chaos, I went back to school and I got my degrees in electronic engineering and robotics. So I got work as a field engineer, and for 10 years thoroughly enjoyed being a high-tech mechanic. I was working on automated systems, training operators and customers how to use and maintain their equipment, and then I got laid off. Back to the corporate world it was for me. I became a design engineer, and as a design engineer I loved designing mixing systems for customers like Valero Oil. But I had to deal with constant interruptions from the telephone and working with customers and other engineers. I tried my hand at being a manager. Now, albeit this was with no training in management and a firm belief that people know what they're supposed to do, so I'm just going to tell them and leave them alone. You know, it turns out that that's not a good view for a manager. You know, they're supposed to make sure people are doing what they're supposed to do. Well, finally I had enough. With the full emotional support of my husband, I pushed through the fear of going out on my own, and I founded Search by Burke. Turns out that an engineer who is an introvert with no training in sales can't build a business without sales. I know, that was a light bulb moment for me too. But it's at this point that I can honestly say, thank goodness for social media. Having been on LinkedIn since 2006, I set out to get to know my network of connections. I participated in conversations and I grew my network. I found and joined Facebook in 2008, initially for personal reasons only. Then I found and joined Twitter. And then other platforms that were industry specific and where my customers hung out. And my business began to grow. Slowly at first because of the recession and my lack of sales skills. But my business did grow. Training professionals to do internet marketing is something I've done from the beginning. And so I decided to start Grow Because You Know to respond to the needs of individuals who want to learn internet marketing and how to use it to make money online. So, Search by Burke was founded June of 2008. I got online on social media, got very active throughout the years. I was teaching people, training, and what have you. And then I came to the conclusion in November 2014 it was time to have an area that was focused strictly on the individual. Therefore, Grow Because You Know happened. Now at this point, I can honestly say that for Search by Burke, 40% of sales for 2014 were generated from LinkedIn. Some were direct sales, most were referrals. I can honestly say that for 2015, my sales have been slipping, and that's because I have gotten a bit complacent. I've stopped focusing on LinkedIn and Facebook. Trust me, I'm back to the daily practice that works for me for LinkedIn and Facebook, and I've included a few other social media platforms as well. Now already I'm seeing an increase in business, and that is why I believe that social media can and should be used to build a business. So today's webinar is an introduction to social selling. I'll be answering the question, what is it? Then explain why you should be doing it yourself, and respond to an often asked question of, what skills do you really need? And then I'll cover a few rules. Yes, there are rules you need to know. And finally, I'll share 3 things that you can do today to help you use social media for building your business. So, what is it? Well, social media itself is an online platform software program application that people use to connect and have conversations. Some platforms you are familiar with, like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and so on. Others you may not actually consider to be social media, like YouTube and Flickr, but they are. Yes, they're video and images platforms. But the comment sections provide great opportunity to connect with like-minded people and have conversations. Now the same holds true of Amazon. Anywhere that people can comment and reply as if they're having a conversation qualifies as social media. So now comes the question, why should you use it? Well, use it to not sell, but to build relationships. I love this advertisement from 1958. It was from Business Week. Now, mind you, this is 1958, right? And yet the same holds true. You walk into somebody's office on a cold call and expect them to buy from you right away. This is what you're going to get from the guy behind the desk. I don't know who you are. I don't know your company. I don't know your company's product. I don't know what your company stands for. I don't know your company's customers. I don't know your company's record. I don't know your company's reputation. Now, what was it you wanted to sell me? Now, take that online. You've just connected with somebody on LinkedIn or Facebook, and you immediately send them a message saying, oh, look, I have this product that I think is going to be perfect for you. Let's set up a telephone call and review this, would you? What's a good date for you? Yeah, I love that one. And honestly, these are the questions that should be asked by the person that just received your message. I don't have a clue who you are. Why are you trying to sell me now? So having said that, social media gives us the platform to introduce ourselves and our services to other people in an environment of mutual sharing and getting to know one another. If I see you online and I see your activity on a regular basis, I can get a picture of who you are and what you do. Then, when you approach me with a recommendation or suggestion that your product might solve my problem, honestly, I am more likely to listen to you. So that begs the question, what skills really do you need? I'm going to tell you right now, I truly believe that you already have the skills to do this. I truly believe, because the first one is about listening. With a little bit of a refinement here, okay? I want you to listen to the language that your ideal customer is using. And I want you to use that language in your own online activity. Use it when you're connecting with them as individuals, right? Use it when you're sharing an answer to the problem that you see them having. All right, so think about it this way. Personally, I am in internet marketing. If I'm talking with other internet marketers, I talk in acronyms, jargon, such as SEO. Hey, how's your SEO going this month? Or SEM. Hey, have you extended that campaign? Or SMM. Yeah, that other campaign you have going. How's that going for you? We talk about reviewing analytics, checking the schema on a website, marketing funnels, click rates, and more. You see, it's jargon, and I'm talking to a group of people who understand that language. But I can tell you right now that if my ideal customer is a nutritionist or a retail store owner, and I start talking like that, trust me, the ears close up, the eyes glaze over, and everything shuts down. I believe you already have this skill, the listening skill. If you don't think you do, really, if you're not sure that you actually have this skill, then how about you go to a group or a forum online someplace where your ideal customer hangs out, follow the conversations. Just follow what they're saying and how they're talking to each other about their products, their services, about their pain points, about issues that they're having, be it industry-wide, be it regionally, be it locally, whatever the issues that they're talking about. How are they talking about it? That's when you're going to figure out you really do have this skill, this ability to listen, because you're going to be able to jump into the conversation and participate as a fellow person on that forum. So the next skill that I want to assure you that you have, and that is initiate new relationships. Obviously you have the skill. You've already been connecting with people, right? You're just going to focus that skill on connecting with people that are in your target market. To take it beyond just accepting or offering a connection request, personalize any messages you send to them. Use their name. You know, when you connect with somebody either on Facebook or LinkedIn, take a look at their profile. Find something interesting or something that you might have in common. Mention that in the connection request. If you can't, because some platforms, LinkedIn recently did this, initiated a can't personalize message to connect. Facebook can be difficult to do this. So if you find at any platform it's difficult to actually personalize a connection request, as soon as that connection is accepted, they're a friend on Facebook or they're a mutual connection on LinkedIn, immediately send a quick note thanking them for the connection and mentioning something from their profile, maybe something you have in common, just a friendly handshake through the monitors. It says, hey, nice to meet you. Now, at this point, I will caution you not to get too personal, but certainly you can go beyond the non-personal, just click of accepting a friend request or invitation to connect. So again, you have this skill. You can not only initiate a new relationship, you can personalize your messages, your replies, and your connection requests. So another skill that I know you have it in you, and that is nurture your relationships. Share interesting, value-based messages and content. Yeah, that's pretty broad, isn't it? But it really is as simple as sharing interesting information. I mean, this is your target customer, right? You know what they need. You know what their pain points are. You're not going to be sharing messages that say, buy from me, I have the product to solve your worries. Or buy from me because I can help you save your world. No. What you're going to do is you're going to share information related to their industry or their profession. It could be something as simple as a current trend. You know, you've been watching Google News, right? Or maybe you have a feed coming in to your email that says about your industry. And you have this new research that shows up, and oh, yeah, that'd be great if this group knew about this. I could be one of the first people to share it with them. Outstanding, isn't it? So you share. And what you're doing is you're letting them know you get it. You get them. You understand them. So surely you can do this, right? While listening and initiating new relationships, you start nurturing them. And it will work well for you if you follow the rules. Yes, rules. Nothing you can't handle, honest, no matter what the platform is that you're on. I don't care if you are face-to-face or online. Please remember that there is a person behind that avatar and profile picture, behind the screen name, and that what you share and post truly is a reflection of you. So a good rule of thumb is to think. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Honestly, if any piece of information you're about to share says yes to any one of these 5, it's a good bet. It's a good thing to share. The other thing that I want you to be mindful of is that you're going to follow the rules of the platform that you're actually on. So for instance, Facebook is very casual. It's like sitting down with a cup of coffee and your girlfriend and chatting about the day, right? Even if it's business, it's still very casual. We're chatting about the day, about what happened. We might interject a few personal things. We went to the zoo. We went with the kids someplace, and that's perfectly acceptable on Facebook. It really is. LinkedIn, on the other hand, is professional. And honestly, discussions and shares and status updates really need to stay professional. The same thing applies with other networks. Okay, some are casual, some are not. The important thing is that when you join a new network or new platform, watch the conversations, pay attention, and follow the rules set by the people already there. So at this point, let's take a breather. Let's get a sip of coffee and review. So far I've covered what is it? What is social selling, right? Social selling, it's having conversations on social media platforms, and those conversations are geared towards business in some way. So why you should do it? Well, because cold calling today isn't going to happen very well. It really isn't. If I send you a connection request immediately followed by a sales message, I should get deleted. And it would be fair game, quite honestly, because I delete others who do it to me. What skills do you need? Oh, yeah, those skills that you already have. The ability to listen, ability to connect, initiate relationships, and the ability to nurture those relationships. Think about them and what they need from you. And then we did a quick review about the rules. You want to follow the rules of the platform you're currently on. And trust me, if you deviate from the rules, you're going to be told in some way. Chances are good that they'll be outright told. In some platforms, I watch it, people gang up on each other, so to speak, but it's really the community protecting itself. So be mindful that you're walking into a community and you want to be a part of it. Therefore, you've got to act a certain way. So all of these and more will be covered in great depth in my upcoming virtual workshop entitled Stop Selling, Start Building Your Business Based on Relationships. It is a half-day virtual workshop. I have taken the best of 2 workshops that I've done in person since 2009 for both LinkedIn and Facebook, combined them, and decided to put it up online at the request of many students and others who are asking for, listen, can we just get in there and get it done? I need to know how to do this. I'm tired of losing friends, and I'm tired of losing connections on LinkedIn. So we'll be going in great depth over your profiles, making sure they're ready for visitors, over who you're going to connect with, how to find them, how to connect with them, how to attract your ideal customer. The link at the bottom here, the bit.ly link, includes a discount code. So if you're interested, I recommend that you use that link to check out for more information. So stop selling and start building your business based on relationships. What is included as part of the workshop is you're going to receive a social media authority checklist that will help you stay on track with what you're doing each day. I wrote an ebook titled Social Media Authority that has been read and reviewed by many professionals who have been saying for the past few months that it's really been helpful for them to understand the different platforms and the rules of conduct expected on each platform. You'll receive a report. It outlines the top 30 social media tools being used today, tools that will help you automate some of your social media activity. And you'll leave the workshop with a plan of action that you can put to use right away. The plan will provide you with steps that you can do and should take your first 30, 60, and 90 days of using social media to build your business. So again, this URL contains a code that will give you 50% off the price. I usually charge individuals $697 to attend this workshop because it's in person, and there's additional costs associated with being in person. And I've discounted it slightly for the general public without this discount here because it's moved from a physical location to virtual one, which reduces the cost to me of holding such a workshop, right? I thought that was only fair. In this instance, because you're attending or watching this webinar, I'm offering a 50% discount to you, therefore the bit.ly URL. You'll be taken to the registration page. In addition to receiving half off, attendance will also give you 2 teleconferences with me to ask questions and review your progress. These will be a group call, and all attendees will be encouraged to attend. And I will be available to answer individual questions and provide guidance via email for 30 days after the virtual workshop. All said and done, the value of each of these separately. I actually had to sit down and start really figuring this up. You know, what if, you know, I sold this, I sold that, and I have sold each of these individually. And this is what it comes up with. That checklist, the ebook, the report, and the plan individualized for each person, and a little bit of guidance there, it's $150. The 2 teleconferences, absolutely the $300, because they usually go an hour and a half to 2 hours, regardless of how many people are on there. The individual attention via email, yes, that's $150, because when I say I give you individual attention, I always get back the response of, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were going to actually provide me with some type of consulting. Well, that's how I work, all right? I want you to succeed in whatever it is that I'm training you to do. 5 hours of personal attention in a workshop, that's where the $697 came into play. So a total of $1,297 is what this half-day virtual workshop is actually worth if you were to purchase my time and the product separately. Using this bit.ly URL, the price is $297. I encourage you to use the bit.ly URL. So moving forward, there are 3 things that you can do today, right now. The first one has to do with your profile. I really don't care what platform you are on. You really do need to have an appropriate headshot. Please have it reflect who you are. These 6 examples are honest-to-goodness profile headshots from both LinkedIn and Facebook. Now, I'm sure you figure that the dog is from Facebook, and you would be correct. Now, what amazes me is that on LinkedIn, American Pharaoh as a winner was somebody's profile headshot on LinkedIn. I don't want to connect with people who are a plaque on a wall, right? Now, the other thing that we have to consider is, do you really want your 1970s high school graduation picture up there? Hey, if you do, feel free. Just remember who you're going to attract, okay? So make sure you have an appropriate headshot on your profile. Any kind of about area, make sure it's targeted and strategically written so that it highlights your knowledge, your expertise, and make sure there is a link to your website or your blog. The second thing you can do right now is on LinkedIn, connect with professionals. Don't be stingy about who you're going to connect with. Now, I say this because it's amazing how many of these people watch you and refer people to you for various reasons. It's also interesting how you're able to tap them yourself for a variety of reasons. You may have need of somebody who has a particular piece of information that's vital to you completing a proposal. You know, one person out of nowhere switches jobs and suddenly you have an in to a company that you've been trying to get into. This has happened. Trust me, it works. Information that will help you land a sale. Truly, I've been in conversations privately on LinkedIn through InMail that assisted in providing me with enough information about the industry. So when I walked into that client, I was smarter than they were. I was able to show that I knew a little bit more than they did, and it was a good feeling. So the third thing is, whenever possible, take the connection to the telephone or the face-to-face meeting, because people do business with people they know. Whether it's by telephone, face-to-face, you become more than just the profile or the photo. You become an actual, real connection. You are a person. And that goes a long way to nurturing a relationship. I may not get a sale from you that first phone call. I'm actually not looking for a sale. But I got to tell you, when I'm talking to you and you're a real person to me and I have your name in front of me and I contact you a week or two later, a month or two later, and sometimes 6 to 8 months later, I know who you are. You know who I am. This has happened to me where I've been nurtured and knew I was being nurtured and fine with it because it was done respectfully. You do the same and you will be amazed at what happens to your network. It suddenly becomes filled with real people. So those are the three things that you can do right now to begin laying your foundation for quality social selling. Now at this point, I'm open for questions. I'm going to recommend that you go to growbecause.com. All it is simply to register for updates about upcoming webinars and events. But after this one I'm recording now, and when all is said and done, I will upload it to another page on growbecause.com, and you'll receive, if you've requested updates, you will receive an email with the link that says it's up and available for viewing. So a few of you that came in a little late and missed the first part, you feel free to go back there. Make note of, feel free, just connect with me. I'm open to connecting. I'm also going to stop recording so that you know what's going on. I'm going to stop recording right now.